Do not be alarmed. It's just a couple of guys. Who are these guys? Ray Regina, beloved former mayor of St. Charles, lifetime educator. And Pat Crimmins, a Geneva lawyer, but he's actually okay. From Elgin to Aurora, from Naperville to Elburn, these guys are gonna talk everything. So, here's Pat and Ray.
Hello friends, welcome to Just a Couple of Guys, our fourth and final visit to Northwestern Medicine Field, home of the Kane County Cougars. And Pat, it's September, baseball's last hurrah.
It's hot like July, however. But as always, we're very excited to be here. Fourth time, last time, but the playoffs are upon us.
The playoffs are upon us, the Cougars are in the playoffs. Later on in the podcast, we'll talk about how you can get playoff tickets. And so we're going to move to two interviews this afternoon. First of all, we're going to bring back a guy we just love to talk to, Curtis Haig. Curtis Haug. You would be mad if I got it right.
Curtis Strange.
Not Curtis Strange. Curtis Haug, the general manager, the fine general manager of the Kane County Cougars, will be one of our guests. And our other guest today, no stranger to the environment here. Weston Muir, a St. Charles North graduate and a star pitcher of the Cougars, will also be interviewed by us a little later on. And so, Pat, by the way, I see you have some prizes here.
Got a few hats from the boss. Love the black one.
The black one is very nice. That was a giveaway today.
And we got a red one from our Judson College sponsorship.
North Central.
North Central. North Central.
That's what I meant to
Listening
say.
is a skill. Anyway, we're going to be right back after word from our sponsors. You stay tuned.
If we still have any.
At McNally Heating and Cooling, we understand that customer satisfaction starts with arriving at your home on time. Your service technician will apply the same attention to detail and quality workmanship to every job, large or small. We offer upfront, honest pricing, and we'll make sure the job gets done right from start to finish. From furnace and air conditioning service, minor repairs, or total equipment replacement, we do it all. Give us a call or find us online and let the luck of the Irish work for you.
We're back and with one of our favorite people associated with the Cougars, none other than the general manager of the Cougars, Curtis Haug. I pronounced that right, didn't I, after all these years?
You're really getting good at that.
I'm happy to hear that.
Maybe the
And
next
I want to start by
3 or 4
saying that
podcasts.
Curtis has now broke the record for the most times of individuals been on Just a Couple of Guys. This is his third appearance, and we look forward, of course, to your fourth appearance next spring.
Next spring.
Hey,
Prior to the new season.
Right.
That's right.
And speaking of that, before we get to the new season, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs?
That's exactly right, as Jim Mora would say.
Playoff fever.
And why don't you tell the fans a bit about, and we're going to promote this, obviously, we're going to post this so that before the first game, how's the playoffs going to work here?
Well, you know, the American Association, there's 2 divisions, and 4 teams from each division make the playoffs, and we happen to be one of the 4. And we feel fortunate we're in. You know, our record isn't the greatest, but you know what? Once the playoffs start, everybody's 0-0,
that's right.
and anything can happen. That's for sure.
So you expect a playoff game here at Northwestern Medicine Field this week sometime, but
Yep.
it hasn't been announced yet.
Well, here's the story. We're going to play the first game on the road Wednesday. That'll be game 1. Game 2 will be here Friday night,
Okay,
and then game 3, if necessary, would be here Saturday night.
very nice.
So it is best of 3.
Best of 3 in the first round.
And you don't know it at this time who you're playing, or you
Correct.
do?
We don't know, but that'll be announced later this afternoon.
But we can tell the fans that they can go to kscougars.com.
Yep.
And it'll tell them everything and allow them to get tickets for the games
For sure.
on Wednesday, on Friday, and possibly Saturday.
Possibly Saturday. Yeah. Both will be at 6:30, and so we'll have some fun with the playoffs. That's for sure. It's a whole different game when it comes to playoffs, and it really becomes a situation where you know, we're playing to win for sure. It's not like it was when we were affiliated ball. It's a little, you know, we're playing to win. So it'll be a lot of fun.
The rules are the same, though, right?
The rules are the same,
Right.
yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Now, you're not a guy to tout yourself too much, but let's just get to the facts. You guys led the league in attendance again this year.
Yes, we did. It was great.
And
You know, this year the staff did a great job. As a team, the staff did a great job with promotion, with marketing, with selling, and you know, we ended up 10% ahead of last year as far as attendance go, and that was just outstanding.
And everything's been settled with the forest preserve, so we're
Yep.
forging ahead to next year.
We're forging ahead. That's right. We're
Now-
partners again.
Tell the fans a bit about what your whole modus operandi is in the off season. The playoffs get over with, whatever happens, it happens, and hopefully a championship. But whenever that is done, what does Curtis do next?
Well, you know what happens is when the championship's over, we head into the off season, we get our schedule for next year, the 2024 season, and then we start planning, we start organizing, marketing, we start selling, and there's a lot to do in the off season. It's amazing all the things that have to be done in the off season in preparation for the 24 season.
How do you configure the roster for the next year? When do you learn that some players are leaving and then you have to fill roster spots with other players? And how do you accomplish that?
Well, after this season, there'll be some, you know, decisions on players, and there's certain guys that we'll hold or keep around, and I'm going to guess roughly 10 guys or so that we'll retain, and then come the spring, you know, throughout the winter, come the spring, we'll figure out who the other guys that make up the roster.
What is the roster? How many?
25 guys we can have on a roster, and so
you'll be
roughly
looking-
it's half pitchers and half position
Yeah,
players.
so you'll be looking for 15 players.
Roughly. Yeah.
And those you'll be going to the ages? The ages will be coming to you, or a combination of both?
It's a combination of both, you know, and it's exciting because, you know, you get some of the guys back that you had this year, you know, some of the guys that, you know, fan favorites, the guys that do well for us, but then you add a new mix, some new blood to it too, which is always exciting.
I asked a Cougar pitcher this question in an earlier interview. I'm going to ask you the same question. Frankly, do you see, and you don't have to mention names, of course, but do you see players here on this year's team that will be at a higher level next year?
You know, you just never know what happens to these guys. You know, in the off season, what happens with minor league baseball and major league teams. You just never know what transpires in the off season and come spring training. You know, if these guys get picked up, get signed, and be part of a major league baseball spring training roster. So you just
And
have
you
to
guys
find
don't
out.
have any control over that, right?
No,
I mean, these guys
not at
are
all.
free to do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And
we'd like to give them that freedom. We don't
Sure.
want to like hold them to, you know,
Sure.
to be here. We want to give them that freedom because that's the dream.
Now, moving along from the players to the fans, you're obviously in the off season going to ask the season ticket holders. We'd like to have you back for next year. How do you
sure.
go about seeking new season ticket holders?
Oh my gosh, you know, it's like anything. You know, we're reaching out.
Beside this podcast right here.
Oh, the
Beside the
podcast.
podcast. I mean, we're marketing. We're reaching out. We're looking for you know, people who have bought tickets in the past. We're reaching out to package holders maybe to upgrade them to season tickets. But you know, season tickets really has never been the bread and butter here. It's really been about group outings and 5-game packages,
Right.
and things like that. So, and we're not the Cubs and Sox and the Bears where we have these big season ticket holder bases. It's more about package holders and group outings that make up Cougars baseball. That's for sure.
Well, it's hot here. We know you have a lot to do before the game, but I want to just say this. We've been here 4 times this year, and I need to tell the general manager this on air. We've been here 4 times here, and Pat and I cannot thank you enough for the hospitality you've shown us, all the opportunities. And we're happy to sell the Cougars because you've been a sponsor of ours all year long.
Sure.
And so we're very happy to do it, and it's been nothing but a pleasure for 2 baseball fans like us.
That's awesome to hear. You know, like I said, we have a really, really good staff of people here that are passionate about what they do. I can't thank them enough for all the hard work and commitment.
Shout out to Claire.
To Claire and to
Yeah.
everybody else. You know, there's just so many to
We like the
mention.
play-by-play guy too.
Oh,
Yes.
Joe Brand, he's good
Wonderful.
too. Yeah.
I was hoping we would meet Ozzy and 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿.
Ozzy and Annie.
Andy, come on,
At some
Ozzy, that's good, Pat.
At some point, but
Research.
maybe we'll meet him downstairs.
No, that's cool. You guys are always welcome here. We love you guys, and whatever we can do to, make your stay as good as it can be.
Well, we love the Cougars, and we want to thank them for their sponsorship. Just a couple of guys. Curtis Haug, the general manager of the Cougars, and we'll see him again, of course, next spring when we make our predictions and so on and so forth.
Sure, right.
So we'll be taking a break and talk to one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Pal.
guys. Thank you.
We're back, and we're in front of the Atomic Pig Pen. Pat, Atomic Pig Pen. You're not one for spicy stuff, but
Right.
show the fans and our audience that sandwich
It
that
looks
you got.
it looks to be like a piece of a big pork sandwich and some kind of a sauce covering it.
Barbecue. Can you handle that?
I'm going to take a bite of it because I am that kind of guy.
I think we are both will have one. Atomic Pig Pen. Boy, that's a pretty good sandwich. Right behind first base at Northwestern Medicine Field, the Atomic Pig Pen. Try one of these sandwiches. You'll really enjoy it.
Why is pork the other white meat? Did the chicken get there first, or how did that happen?
Who cares?
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Hello, friends. This is Ray Rogina. Hey, the Kane County Cougars are back for the summer. The best family entertainment around features sunshine, baseball, and fireworks through Labor Day. With great food, entertainment, giveaways, and running the bases after every game, there's something for everyone at a Cougars game. And Thirsty Thursdays feature $2 beer, pop, and hot dogs. And on Sunday, a $15 ticket gets you $15 right back in concession cash to spend at the ballpark. What a deal for you baseball foodies. Come visit us at beautiful Northwestern Medicine Field this summer for your dose of sunshine, baseball, and fireworks. And make your family memories today.
All right, we found, what's that expression? Look what the cat drank, Dan. We found some employees along the way to the concession stand. We're going to get a pork chop sandwich. Oh, there you go. You guys are interrupting that. But we wanted to talk with the ushers. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Name?
I'm Dave, and it's only my 4th time working here, and I get to work with Jeff here. He's a great guy showing me the ropes.
Nice. Jeff, how long have you been with the Cougars?
This is my 2nd year here. So after 32 years of being at Pepsi.
Pepsi?
I even used to be a Coke man.
That's the red company, we don't talk about.
Well,
Let's not get into that. Here would be the question that everybody asks. As ushers, you have to have had one or two interesting experiences already this year. Throwing somebody out, somebody fainted. I don't know. Tell us about
we
it.
don't want to get graphic what you're seeing back in
Yeah,
there.
right.
There was a time last year where a lady was having a good time right here in right field, and home run was hit, didn't see it, went right through the umbrella, hit her right on the head.
Did it knock her out?
No, she was okay. I think she was having a good time.
Now,
the
you have to
lawyer-
go over there and ask her if she's okay, and then
Anytime the ball leaves the playing field, we always check up on the patron.
The lawyer in me says that there's a sign warning the patrons to watch out for flying
There
balls.
are, but
So, you know what I'm saying. It's another lawsuit I can't touch.
we should ask this question. They're working on minor league ballpark, but they probably are Major League Baseball fans. Do you have a particular team you like?
Oh, yes.
Please tell us.
The White Sox, all the way.
I knew this guy at the beginning was a good man. I just knew it. I knew it. I
It's
knew
just
it.
because of the colors, right?
I'm a Cubs fan.
There you go. There you go.
Lifelong
Hey,
Sox
I appreciate
fan.
the Sox.
3 generations, so.
One Chicago. One Chicago.
Our good ushers. Thanks for visiting with us. We
This
appreciate
area,
it.
I felt secure here.
Yes.
I felt that this was safe.
It's always safe here.
Come on out, kids. It's
Fun,
safe.
fun and family friendly. Can't beat it.
Let's talk to a few more people.
All
What do you
right.
say?
Thanks, guys.
Free advertising. We get one more.
Sure.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Like the hat.
Right here and everything. All right.
You know what? First, you could be people may be walking up here, but that might screw things up too, though. You know, we don't want to do that.
So our alumni association. So we have a
You're
bunch
having
of
an
alumni.
event?
Yep, an
Oh,
event,
I
yep.
see.
Yeah, like an alumni appreciation event kind of thing, engagement. So
You guys are students, or are you?
we are employees.
You look so young.
Thank you. I'll take that.
See what
Did
I'm
they
doing?
get them on?
It's going to
See
be
what
my
I did?
15-year anniversary, so I'll take that.
Where did you go to college?
I went to Iowa State.
Iowa State. Currently involved in a gambling scandal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't.
My daughter.
Hello, friends. This is Ray Rogina. You face technology challenges every day that threaten to steal business, compromise data, and bring your business down. Without a good partner to help protect from phishing, ransomware, viruses, data breaches, employee turnover, and cybersecurity threats, your business is at risk of losing everything. TechWorks has been the trusted IT partner to Fox Valley businesses for over 20 years, keeping systems secure and providing extraordinary customer service, helping your business grow. Call TechWorks today at 630-482-2227 or visit www.techworks.com. That's TechWorks with a Q. TEQ Works, and see how TechWorks IT service can transform and secure your business. Well, we're back. We're up in Suite E at Northwestern Medicine Field, and look who we have as a guest here, a local guy, Weston Muir, a St. Charles North graduate and a member of the Kane County Cougars. Weston, it's nice to have you. Just a couple of guys.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
And, you told us offline, of course, that you graduated from St. Charles North High School. What's been your lane, so to speak, since you left St. Charles North?
Yeah, I went to Wisconsin Whitewater after St. Charles North. Just basically go up there, play baseball. I ended up there for 5 years thanks to COVID coming through right after, kind of in the middle of my junior year, actually. So I ended up playing there for 5 years and then signing here at Kane County right after I graduated.
Who's to say there wasn't a good thing about COVID?
Well, yes, there's a lot of positive things that came out of it. A lot of negative things as well.
Yes.
Listen, you have, I checked your stats out, 8-6, 3.51 earn run average, and a nice game yesterday that got you guys within a game of 500. How do you evaluate your season?
I think it's been good. I came in last year, started out of the bullpen a little bit, and then kind of fell into a starting role later in the season. Kind of took it in stride because that's what I was used to all throughout college. And so kind of getting back into that role this year and being a starter right off the bat, I think helped me a lot, and just kind of, carrying on with where I left off last year.
The team went into kind of a slump here at the end, but nevertheless, as you play your 100th game today, you're going to be in the playoffs. Can we assume that you may very well get a playoff start?
I think so. I think it depends on situation, and first series is 3 games, so maybe game 3. But moving forward, we play a 5-game series, I believe, after that. So definitely be thrown at some point.
So you've been here for 2 years?
Yeah, this is my second year here. Signed like June last year, so not 2 full seasons, but.
And
second
before
season.
that, you were at Whitewater?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is your first professional baseball, is that fair?
Yeah, it's my first experience
Okay.
with pro balls right here in Kane County.
So what do you hope to do next year? You hope to stay here and move on to something else, or what?
I'll see where it takes me. As of right now, I'd love to come back here and play Kane County again. It's a great place to be, and obviously I'm familiar with the area, so
Sure.
it's pretty cool to play here. But at the same time, there's always more opportunity, hopefully, moving forward. So,
Well, just so you know, you can listen to our podcast wherever you go.
sounds good.
I have a question that really deals with the establishment of friendships you made throughout the year. A team like this, there's likelihood that guys go elsewhere. Not every stage is the same. But do you think you've established some lifelong friendships here this year?
Definitely. And I mean, this year, especially more than last year too, last year I was a new guy coming in fresh out of college, didn't really know anyone, didn't really know my place yet. But coming in this year kind of as a returning guy and getting to know everyone, not only just returning guys that came back with me, but also new guys that came in throughout the season. It's been great. And I've definitely, clicked with a handful of guys this year more than ever.
You follow the level of competition at the major league level, and of course the levels below, and so on and so forth. I'll ask this in more of a general fashion than specifically to you. Do you see potential on the Kane County Cougars of players? We're going to ask the general manager the same question that have major league potential.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not asking you specific names, but there is that. And how do you determine that? What do you see that determines that? Yes, this person with a few adjustments may very well make it to the show.
I mean, obviously, physical performance in the game will tell you a little bit, but there's also kind of like that it factor that people sometimes talk about, but not everyone can really see it right away. But when you spend a whole season playing with some guys, you kind of see, okay, this guy has something different, something special. And I mean, last year and this year, we've definitely had guys that, at least to me, kind of stick out and,
And of course,
themselves.
on the roster, there are guys that have no chance at all, right?
I don't know if I'd say
Don't
that.
make him admit to that.
I don't know if I would say that.
Somebody might watch this. We don't want to.
There are definitely, in this league, there's some guys that are on kind of the later half of their career that, I mean, maybe they themselves understand that that's not in the cards, but they'd love to continue playing, which is great. But we also have guys like in my situation and some other guys on the team who are pretty young still, and anything could happen in
So
5
what
6
happens
years.
after the season, after you win the championship? What do you do personally?
I'll be going back home to Colorado. And
We're home is Colorado now.
yeah,
All
so
right.
yeah, I've kind of been all over the place, but home for the off season nowadays is Colorado.
Well, Colorado where? It's a big state.
Denver area.
Oh, well.
Yeah, south of
You
Denver.
might see prime time while you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be, Colorado's just really a great state and so forth. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I just wanted to know what you do in the off season.
Yeah, training.
Yeah.
Just stick to baseball pretty much.
Do you have another job? Do you bartend? Do you bus tables? What do you do?
So last season was my first full off season, having just gotten into pro ball. In college, we always had just like 1 month for winter break, right? And so I'd go home and kind of try to take some downtime because we had fall ball and then started right away back in the spring with, regular season stuff. So kind of having that first full off season to just train, get stronger, put on a little weight and try to start throwing harder was great for me last season. I really took advantage of all the time that I had off just to do that. And so right now my plan is just to do more of the same this year and just try to keep, pushing it baseball wise as long as I can. Because, I have the opportunity to just live at home and not really have much to worry about on that side.
Yeah, a lot of kids living at home have no worries. What's the roster differential from last year to this year? How many players did you lose from last year, you think?
Quite a few. We returned a pretty solid core of pitchers. I'd say there was at least like 6 maybe returning pitchers at the beginning of the year, and a few core position guys as well that came back. What I think is different this year as opposed to last year is throughout the season how much movement and how dynamic our roster was this year. Because last year it seemed like we had a pretty strong core group of guys that were there, the full season. And this year, we've kept most of our returning guys from last year throughout this season, but a lot of the guys that we brought in that were new maybe are gone now and been replaced like 2 or 3 times over in some cases.
Where'd they go? They drive off a cliff or something, or do they get
Some
called to
been
the show?
traded, released, anything could happen. Roster moves happen pretty frequently in the league in general, but for us last year we didn't have quite as many roster moves, whereas this year we brought in quite a few new guys throughout the season.
You have a couple of colleagues that made the All-Star team, and we interviewed them, Jake Fox and Travis.
Also known as Foxy.
And Beardsley. And I, after looking at your earned average for the year, and you pitched 100 innings, I went back and looked at the stats for the whole league. There aren't too many pitchers that are below 4.00, but you're one of them. Out of maybe, I would say, no more than about 10. It's a hitter's league, obviously, because the pitchers are at 4 and above, and you're sitting at 3.51. That bodes well for your future.
I don't know if you have an agent, but Ray's available.
I'm not available, but pass the
been
lawyer,
offered up.
pass the lawyer, so he might be available.
No soliciting here.
No, I have one more question to ask. And when we ask these guys, they kind of, no mas. I said, what do you guys do for social life here in the area? And they go, we're pretty busy. But you being a native here, do they ask you questions about, you know, where do we go for this or that or the other thing? What are some of the hot spots that I would assume you're the resident authority on this subject.
Yeah, guys that know that I went to high school in this area and have lived here for a while, they'll ask me, you know, where's the best this and what's the closest this, and
of course, being the charlatans that we are, what are the best in your opinion? Because we always want to look for future sponsors.
Well, I mean, when guys want to, you know, their families are in town, they want to go out after a game, you know, we get done usually around 10 o'clock here, so there's not a ton of options, but usually I point them toward downtown St. Charles.
There you go.
There's plenty to do down there.
We like to hear that. I like to hear that.
You know, if it's like after a day game or something, I'll tell them to go into Old Town Geneva, just 3rd Street there. The strip is really fun to walk around, and there's plenty of good places to eat and stuff. And then I've got some friends in Naperville too, so depending on how far people want to branch out, I'll say go down to the Riverwalk in Naperville.
If you're looking for a party, Ray, you always want to go to the Colorado guys. That's a rule, I think.
Well, he's right there in the foothills. Rocky Mountains are beautiful, and he knows that already. Yes, you a skier, by the way?
No.
I guess you want to mess around with that though, in possible injury.
Yeah, no.
Listen, we won't take too much more of your time. We know you have to be back down in the field, but good luck today. Although you're going to sit it out, obviously, after a good game yesterday. Good luck in the playoffs, and more importantly, I think good luck in your future career. It seems to me like you got your head screwed on straight and you're ready to move up the ladder here. And Pat and I know really appreciate the fact that you take us some time to come on here. Yeah, a local guy.
Yeah. North Stars. We appreciate it. Yeah.
North Star, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Weston Muir, Kane County Cougar pitcher, 3.51 earned run average. Somebody you should know. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
My dad's a huge Dodger fan. We'd always try to go watch Kershaw pitch when we could.
All right.
Nice stadium out there.
Oh,
That's a dome.
Best garlic fries in the country, though.
Third oldest in baseball. It's not overrated in my opinion. I've been to all 30.
Yeah.
That's a good stadium.
You don't like it?
But
nice.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The fans come out, and you know who sits down there in that front row.
Oh yeah.
Mary Hart.
Mary Hart?
Used to
He
be,
doesn't know who Mary Hart is.
I have no idea.
Used to be Larry King, next to Larry.
That's Larry King is always down there too. Now you know who Larry King is.
Larry King, yeah.
Oh, he was always down there too.
Now I used to live in San Ramon by Oakland, and we would go to the Coliseum, and the good thing is we were always alone. There was no other chance of being beaten by somebody because nobody else was there.
We're going to try and ask some different questions than we ask you, otherwise it'll be a boring battle with both you guys on the
Go for it. Ask me anything.
Well, ask me anything. All right. Well, I want to start with something real positive here in a second.
Let's do it.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
All right. Well, this is CIA.
Trickery. Deceit.
Okay, ready?
You got my back here, right? Get the foul boss.
Yes, I'll do that.
All right.
Hello, friends. This is Ray Rogina. I'd like to say a few words about my friends at the 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐲𝐨𝐼rr Group of Restaurants, one of our sponsors. I've been a frequent guest at all of their fine restaurants for years, one of which is Rookies, which has locations throughout the Fox Valley and beyond. My favorite dish at Rookies is the gyros plate with the saganaki appetizer. Oopa! My wife, she loves the Hall of Fame chicken sandwich. But I can honestly say that I've never had a bad meal there, regardless of whatever I've had to eat. The wings are out of this world, the salads are delicious, great burgers, tacos, all-American specialties, and don't forget their pizza. And of course, you can wash this all down with one of their famous Mai Tais. Try them out. St. Charles, Geneva, Elgin, Hoffman Estates, Huntley, and Roselle. RookiesPub.com. I'll see you there. Sarah, to ask her a simple question. You're a baseball fan, right? And who do you stick for at the major league level? You're a Cubs fan, all right. But do you enjoy coming to Cougar games? How many times a year do you come to 3 or 4. All right. And then, next year, I love this guy's hat. Pick his hat up. Are you a Cougar fan?
Oh, yeah.
But you're at the major league level. I think you're a Sox fan.
Cubs.
Man, that's 2 Cubs in a row.
You're going to get a lot of those here. So.
Grew up in Iowa, WGN. What are you going to do?
All right, let's get to a serious question because Pat's going to have some quick technical questions. But you all enjoy working for TechWorks?
Best place I've ever worked.
And are you all, quote, techies?
I would think we would all qualify, yes.
All right.
There were a particular county administrator that we have since helped get a promotion to Wisconsin. He didn't see what we were doing as agriculture. We were zoned for agriculture, and it took us a lot of time and effort to go around him and convince the county board that what we were doing was ag. Unanimously, after much work, they approved it.
Weren't you ag before the distillery?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. But
are we feeding hogs or feeding geese? Is it different?
Buy a hog and put it in.
Yeah. You know, to me, you know, you're milling grain, you're feeding it to a single cell animal in the form of yeast.
Right.
You're making a product for human consumption. The waste product gets spread on the field.
Right.
It's almost the same.
This goes to show you what good quality county government can do to the local businessman.
Or not.
I'm sure it's much better in St. Charles.
Kane County and St. Charles is a very interesting
the less we say.
Family. Very interesting, and I'll leave it at that.
The good news is today, I think we've proven ourselves, and we have a very good relationship.
You know, your question about, you know, do we serve the college crowd? I think that was one of the bigger fears. Is, you know, we're not a bar to come finish your night at, right? And we're a place to come start your evening.
As mayor and liquor commissioner of St. Charles, the fact of the matter is, at 21, you can drink alcohol. And we trust that the purveyors of alcohol will make sure they enforce the law. And so that's not a problem. I don't see that as a problem if a 21-year-old college kid comes to your distillery and wants to enjoy a bourbon or two. That's very legal.
But by design, we try less to be a bar,
sure,
and more to be like a winery, a destination.
Right.
So you come out and you spend time with us, and hopefully not only do you have a cocktail, but you find something you like and you buy a bottle or two to take it home and share it with friends and family.
We're never open past 8:30.
Yeah,
we want your first dollar, not your last dollar.
Right.
We don't want to help mop up the floor.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to certainly thank both of you, Jamie and Nick, for. That was a good idea to come to the suite. Very quiet up here, and serene, and everybody's.
There's just not refills.
Yeah, well, but we want to thank you for the treat we had here.
Yes.
And so it's _acres.com, and then of course they want to get location.
All the other things.
That's all on the website. And so you want to make sure that you go to that website to try some interesting bourbons here locally. You don't have to go to Kentucky to enjoy bourbon, right, Ben?
And I would say this, that maybe you guys, after this podcast, talk to our producer about getting your own podcast.
Yeah. It's been brought up before, so you never know. That's like a little bit out of our wheelhouse, so a
couple of guys talking bourbon? Oh, that sounds great.
We need extra things to do. That's really what it is.
That would be great. That would be great.
And by the way, I'm a Kane County guy. I live a mile and a half north of here in Batavia.
Oh.
So
fantastic.
It's a beautiful
place. Can you give me a ride home?
I was going to call for my own.
Okay. All right, on that note, we're going to take a small break, and when we return, Pat and I will have some closing comments. Well, we're back. We hope you enjoyed the interview with our guy Curtis and with Weston Muir. We thought it was a fine interview, really a very likable kind of guy.
Very likable. We wish the Cougars nothing but the best in the upcoming playoffs, and we hope to see them in 2024.
Now, as far as the playoffs are concerned, you can get playoff tickets easy. All you have to do is go to kccougars.com and you can buy as many tickets as you want. The games will be this week. Friday night for sure, and possibly Saturday. So go to the website, get your tickets. The Cougars have had an interesting season. They've made the playoffs, and we've enjoyed every part of our
Should
stay
the
here.
podcast be taking credit for this?
Well, I'll tell you right now, they lead the league in attendance, and I think that we might have had something to do with it.
Yes, I think so too.
Now, let's just, Paul, was part of this last podcast. Paul's going to insert our crack producer. Is going to introduce some of the best of here of the podcast. But we really had an interesting 3 or 4 sessions.
Very
we had interviews here. But we've had Mario Spina from the Pride.
The Pride.
We were out there and we had a home run that night.
That's right.
The ushers out there were great. We talked to them.
Right. Security.
I enjoyed our tremendous interview with the guys.
Very secure here. Tell the kids.
I enjoyed our interview with the guys from _acres. We had a cocktail up in the suite.
I had it wonderful. What did I have? A bourbon? I had an old fashioned. It was
I think you did have an old fashioned. Yeah. It was
just one, Your Honor.
We went to the press box and talked to Connor Klingen.
That's right.
Who, by the way, congratulations, sir. Recently was engaged. and we're happy for you, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Yes.
And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our interview with the famous doctor of the Cougars, Dr. Sostak.
Dr.
Key
Sostak.
physician. We enjoyed his interview tremendously.
Yes.
All right, so we've given you all the information about the playoffs. We look forward to having the Cougars join us again next year in the podcast. We thank them profusely.
Heads up.
Oh, bad, you almost got hit.
I was this close to getting hit.
We thank the Cougars profusely for their sponsorship this year. It's been a wonderful, wonderful partnership. So for our videographer
Videographer
and
Kevin.
publisher of Fox Valley Magazine, 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐲𝐶, for our crack producer,
Sure.
smiling as usual in the
Yes.
background there,
Yes.
and the owner of Nexus Publishing,
Yes.
Paul Stukel.
Tax purposes. Yes.
For my partner, Pat Crimmins.
Yes. Very excited to be here.
Ray Rogina saying, we've enjoyed every minute of being at the ballpark and from the ballpark. Just a couple of guys. We look forward to some future podcasts involving just about anything.
Yes.
Just a couple of guys.
And if you're looking for a hat, come see me. I've only got 4.
So long, everybody.
Take care.